Chickens, let's see if this rings a bell for you. You're in the middle of working, you get a call on the phone, and right at that moment, bam, bam, they stab you in the back with a sword. You're having tremendous pain in your interscapular area. All right, so don't let panic set in because I'm going to show you a method that will assist you in easing the pain. Little chicken, are you stuck like a nail? It is quite common for a muscle to unexpectedly spasm and create pain while working or doing chores. Today, we will discuss the region between the shoulder blades known as the interscapular area. The interscapular region is a very intricate area filled with muscles. We have the scapula as a reference bone and the spine as the central area. We have lower traps, supraspinatus, infraspinatus, major minor rhomboids, spinalis, longissimus, and iliocostalis. That's where today's issue lies. Don't worry, everyone. The initial suggestion is to remain calm and follow my instructions. We will be applying heat to this seed bag. The process is quite straightforward and can be done single-handedly. The pain or identifying where it hurts and applying the heat bag for about 15 to 20 minutes. This application of heat acts as a pain reliever and will assist us in enhancing circulation in the area. In order to maximize effectiveness, we can utilize it around 3 to 4 times daily, along with the exercises I will demonstrate, which are recommended 2 or 3 times per day. We've warmed up the area, now let's give some mobility to the scapula. Remember, the scapula is a bone that moves up, down. To properly execute these actions, you must replicate the actions using your arms, both inward and outward movements, as well as the use of the external and internal bells. Always remember that we're solely moving the arms and not altering the position of the thorax. It is as effortless as raising and lowering them. Shoulders up, shoulders down. This sequence of movements will be done slowly and in a controlled manner for at least 2 to 3 sets of 10 to 15 repetitions. Keep this in mind. If I raise it here and it starts to hurt, we'll raise it a little below the pain threshold. What we aim for is to provide movement and a pumping action to the muscle to regularize it. That is the up and down movement. To perform an inward-outward movement, what we will do is position the arm straight as if we were leaning against a wall. Moreover, you can do it on a wall, and what we'll do is bring the shoulders back. My chest remains still while my shoulders move. What you observe here is the forward movement of my shoulders. By doing this movement, what we're achieving is that the scapulas come together at the back, open at the front. We're bringing them together at the back, opening at the front, performing that movement, activating that musculature that made you feel like a spear or sword was stuck in your back. External bell and internal bell. Notice, this has a lot of art. You're going to put your hand like this and you're going to do that movement. And then behind. See how my hand appears here. This movement. This movement. This way. What you're achieving is making the scapula move like this. And like this. All right? I'll repeat again. Here. We put the hand behind. Okay, let's proceed with this exercise. Here is an external bell that we will use. Internal bell. Again, 2-3 sets of 10-15 repetitions. Chickens, let's continue with a self-massage. Because how are you going to give yourself a massage here where many people can't reach? Well, I'll tell you a strategy with a tennis ball. We're going to locate our pain. All right, it's about right? Approx. And we're gonna go against the wall, as simple as leaving it there. Now, when you're on this wall, what we're going to do is separate the feet a little, very little, to focus on applying pressure. If you're too close to the wall, you won't be able to apply pressure. We're going to place both arms close to the chest, and we're going to go up and down with knees to perform a longitudinal massage, okay? To the spine, there, slowly. We're going to do this massage for 3-5 minutes. Next massage exercise, as I mentioned, we locate the area we lean against. And now what we're going to do is we grab our elbows, and this is called the baby massage, okay? Why? Because we are gently rocking an imaginary baby that is resting on our lap, and we are performing a massage that is parallel to the ground, all right? To the floor. Therefore, it is quite fascinating to engage in this particular massage. Bend your knees slightly now or later, and then repeat the process. Take 1-2 minutes to flex your knees, 1-2 minutes to stand a little taller, and 1-2 minutes to straighten up. Are you good with that? Continuously rocking the baby to create a massage and pumping effect from left to right. The final massage exercise we are going to perform involves pinpointing the area of pain, leaning ourselves against the wall, moving slightly to identify, that's where it hurts the most. And now we will significantly separate our feet from the wall. Let's move forward and concentrate on the pain, taking several steps in the process. The level of pain should progressively escalate, possibly fluctuating, shifting, or localizing to a particular area, and at this moment, pay attention to instructions. We perform flexion, extension, experiencing slightly reduced discomfort, left rotation, right rotation, experiencing slightly reduced discomfort, inclination. There it hurts considerably less, and I've only moved my neck. We will remain in that phase of movement for 90 seconds. The Jones technique will help us relax the muscle fibers. Something you often ask when experiencing these issues is how to self-manipulate the dorsal area. We often find ourselves in the posture of monkeys, and actually, our issue could possibly be due to an excessive stretching of the fibers. So, I will explain a manipulation that you will perform slowly and calmly without causing harm to yourself. If your back doesn't crack, don't worry, because we have a beneficial extension parameter specifically designed for the back. Allow me to demonstrate by suggesting that we stand facing a wall. Shall we proceed in doing so? This is originally a bar on a wall, but it could potentially serve as just a wall. We are going to place our hand with the palm extended, and we will stand on our tiptoes. In order to take a break, we will gently clasp our hands into closed fists and position our forearms against the wall. We will rest our foreheads on our arms, and once we reach this position, we'll stay on tiptoes, making sure to maintain balance. We will let the pelvis drop. As you have heard, that noise produced is due to the manipulation of the upper mid-dorsal area. All right? So I will repeat it now so you can see it. Please do not hurt yourself and do it gradually from less to more. In this fifth exercise, we are going to stretch. Therefore, there is a very interesting stretch where we create a lever. A common approach to stretching is to directly stretch from point A to point B, holding the stretch for an extended period of time, separating the muscle and making it achieve muscle relaxation in about 20 or 30 seconds. But many other exercises besides stretching involve creating a lever with additional assistance. So it's quite intriguing. Place the palm of your hand on the top, position it behind your shoulder as you can see. This hand will then grasp the arm in order to create a lever. Take note of the resulting stretch that occurs. I let myself fall forward. I go towards my left hip, and with this hand, I pull, creating a lever. You're going to perform an impeccable stretch of the entire dorsal area. I'm going to turn a little so you can see it. I put my hand on my shoulder, behind. With this hand I grasp, and as I lower and turn, I seek the tension to generate the stretch in this area, which is the area that bothers us. We are going to hold this stretch for at least 20 or 30 seconds, and it can be done twice. Honestly, I have to say that this particular stretch is one of my absolute favorites. I make sure to incorporate it into my daily routine as it provides the most relief, especially for the dorsal pains that I often experience. I like to call this stretch the doorknob stretch, as if you were grabbing a doorknob or handle. If you can't find the doorknob to stretch with, you can always go to the stairs at home and use the railing instead. Let's take hold of it, and at this spot we are going to construct 3 tiers. By bending extensively, we allow the buttocks to descend backwards. Here, and we are going to rotate slightly to the right and then a bit to the left in order to discover the point of maximum tension. We will remain in this stretch for about 30 little seconds. The next exercise I want you to try is a slight variation. Stand up straight with your legs fully extended. Then, allow yourself to slowly fall backward, keeping your legs straight. Lastly, we will add a slight twist to the right. We continuously twist left, turning towards the direction that inflicts pain upon us, stretching the fibers more and achieving a very interesting stretch. And finally, almost entirely straight, we will grasp the doorknob, allow ourselves to lean back, and once more seek a parameter for rightward twisting, leftward twisting, in order to effectively stretch the fibers of the entire dorsal wall thoroughly. It is recommended that you do this stretch for a minimum of 30 to 40 seconds, making sure to perform 2 sets. This is an incredibly efficient exercise. Guys, I hope I have provided you with the tools necessary to combat your dorsal pain. I understand that it may cause significant discomfort and hinder you, but remember, as I previously stated, there is no need to panic. Take a look at our channel, where you'll find plenty of exercises to help you combat the discomfort in your back. We believe into healing and beyond, even as you surpass it. Goodbye, goodbye.